Alright, I'm working on getting this nut loose off of here, you know, and you gotta just take your time on something like this. And the best thing is heat when it's rusted up like that. And so, and you gotta, I already heated it up pretty good, and I think I went across this when I was working on the cylinders. But the idea is to get the nut itself heated up enough where it swell up and loose itself from the threads. And a lot of times those threads and stuff is all seized in there and stuff. It's just built up with rust. And of course, this is a battery hold down, and of course you're not supposed to have any flames and stuff around a battery, but you know, you could have went ahead and covered it up. The battery itself, you got a barrier in between the battery to keep the gases and stuff away from it, and then use some heat to get that off. And another thing is, best, instead of a ratchet or a wrench, best to use impact, so it gives it the jar that where that rust has got seized up. But you got to be kind of careful. You can't put a 1/2-inch drive or impact wrench on something that small. This little 3/8, but you still got to be kind of careful. So the idea is you want that started to move it, see, so better put my glasses on so you can see. And once it starts to move it, you know, you could turn it around and go forward a little bit. Yeah. And use, just take your time. I know over the years of running asphalt plants and stuff, a lot of times when it comes to jobs like that, I told my co-workers, especially one, they're not co-workers, but the people who are working for me, and I try to teach them that, you know, most of them don't have any patience. Try to teach them that take your time, and if you use common sense and take your time, you could save a lot of work. And but normally, even after teaching them, then they still lose their patience, and they bust that off, and then they'd call me. And a lot of times out there in the bush in Alaska and stuff like that, you don't have the luxury of going to the parts store around the corner or whatever and pick up a new part. You gotta make that thing work. And so you gotta kind of just take your time. So I think I'll take this over to the wire wheel here now. But normally he would, this particular employee, when he knew he couldn't get it, instead of coming to get me, he just tried to do it himself and more or less break it, and then it would be me fixing it and him watching me. it up again and tried it, and with the impact and stuff. And like I say, you got to be really careful when you use the impact, especially when it's hot, because that metal and stuff is awful weak and stuff there. It can more or less twist it off. Got a little bit of bend in it. Let's see if we can get this bend out of it. Torch over there. I don't know if I can put it in here and get it out. Sometimes you can. Not bad. Right in there. That'd be good enough. Okay, that took care of that. Go ahead and put this washer nut back on there. I'll probably get new nuts to put on there once I start to put it together. Most normally them are 90 degree, so I'll wait till I go to put that together, because I can always come back in and put that to a 90 degree. Go ahead and clean this guy up over here. Gonna get you dizzy early this morning here. Now this in here, see where that, she's pretty well ate up. But they're using the heat on it. The batteries were in there when I used the heat on this one, and getting them off. Like I said, I just covered the batteries up. And most people would just go ahead and replace this. Alright, let's go, guess best thing would be is get a 1/4 inch bolt. That's about the size of a 1/4 inch bolt, and go ahead and get a longer one and be able to cut it, so I can get that weld piece on there. Okay, it's wrong. It's more like a 5/16. So go ahead and cut the head off here. threads. Got the threads off here, and I believe that's going to be plenty long enough. Okay, let's go ahead and get the pair of pliers, the vice grips here. I need to round off this edge here, and probably needing that a little later. Around this edge off here, and around this edge off here. You can see that had that bend right there. So the way I'm going to reason I'm going to round these off is to give it more surface to surface rust, or to weld this to. Let's go with this side. Yeah, I'll do it. This guy. Yeah, I'll do it. We'll go on there about like that. And I'll probably have to cut a little bit off of here, but that's be doing that. So let me get set up back there, and we'll get back to you. GoPro stop recording.